Okay, now we are going to go through the process of installing the operating system for the Raspberry Pi. And the first step in that is going to be to get the operating system for the Raspberry Pi.
So actually, we will go through the internet, download the software that will download the operating system, and this software will load it within the Raspberry Pi. It sounds complicated.
We're downloading the downloader.
Exactly. So
Look at
let's
this. So we
start.
go to Google, search for Raspberry Pi Imager, which is the application that will do the downloading of the appropriate software for us.
Yep. And let's go to the Raspberry Pi website.
Raspberry Pi website, raspberrypi.com.
Yeah, and we have to wait a bit. Somehow the internet is quite slow today.
Well, there we are. There's some kind of response.
Yeah.
raspberrypi.com/software.
It's it's coming.
There we go. Scroll down a little bit and we can download the appropriate Raspberry Pi Imager file. In this case, we're using Windows. It's also available for Mac and for Ubuntu.
Yeah, it's quite a big and great community that have a lot of support for the three main big major operating systems. So it's taking a few seconds to install the
We're
software.
almost there.
Yeah.
We're so close I can feel it.
It's coming soon.
Coming soon to a computer near you. Okay, so there it is. So we have that software, which is an imager or kind of an installer downloaded to while we're installing the imager application, which doesn't take too long because it's not too big. And now we're finished. And now we open that up and it looks like this. And we can choose the operating system that we want to install. Now, traditionally, a lot of the Raspberry Pi family use 32-bit. And so that still is the default recommendation in a lot of cases. But to take full advantage of the 64-bit chip that you have on the Raspberry Pi 4 and on the 3 and on the 2, you can go ahead and install Raspberry Pi OS 64-bit. It's currently the Debian Bullseye version.
Yeah, and this is so as you can see, both of them are released within the same date, and Raspberry Pi Foundation is now releasing both 64 and 32. So the 64 is the most efficient. The 32 is recommended because it used to be a legacy. However, the 64 is the newest release, so they are using the microprocessor in a more efficient way. So that's why we are going to install the 64 version for today.
And then for the storage, we're going to choose where we put this. Now, this is important. We're currently choosing the flash USB.
Our actual microSD.
microSD, sorry. And you want to be careful about this. You don't want to accidentally install this to the wrong drive and erase all of the data there.
So we are sure? Let's go for it.
I feel sure. Do you feel sure?
Yeah, a little bit. Let's go. Let's do it. Okay, so now we start the process, and what's going on is the Raspberry Pi Imager, the software, is calling the Raspberry Pi website and downloading the image that it will be writing into the microSD card that we inserted in the computer.
Excellent.
So the writing process has started.
And this only takes a few seconds, right?
Yeah, we hope so. We hope so. But yeah, you can see.
That's 1%. 2%. Count with me.
3%? Not yet. Not yet.
Okay,
happened.
We need to. Maybe we'll.
We have to manage our expectations.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe it's not fast computer or fast internet. We are in 2023 and still going very slow.
Very
so
casual.
Let's do some magic and give it like a big push of speed.
Through the magic of video editing.
Yes, and 3, 2, 1. No, the count is not. I should have the good thing. So, but we are accelerating the writing, and you should see it very soon, like the writing bar going.
There
Yeah,
we go. Time is flying. Oh, I'm getting so old.
yeah. So the process you are seeing right now is a process that takes quite time, and it takes around 12 to 13 minutes.
Now, this one is where it says, oh, Microsoft Windows, you need to format this disk before you can use it. Microsoft Windows, I don't recognize this disk. Should I format it? No. Microsoft Windows doesn't recognize it because it's in that Raspberry Pi format.
Actually, yeah, the segmentation of the format of the memory of the SD card has completely changed.
So that's normal.
Exactly. So that's normal, and you can safely remove the micro SD card from your SD card reader and go to prepare it to install the Raspberry Pi inside the Raspberry Pi.
Excellent.
Okay, that was all. Let's jump and run it in the Raspberry Pi.
Okay, next we are going to install the operating system.
Okay, so we prepared the whole layout for today. We do have our screen ready here. Hopefully, when we will zoom in, you'll have a clear picture of what's happening. So our Raspberry Pi right now is connected to that screen using the HDMI connection. This screen is powered differently. So for the HDMI, we do have the micro HDMI adapter connected to it, so we can have the connection. We have our USB-C connected to our Raspberry Pi, so we do have the power supply. And right now, it's not powered. So we added also two USBs, Bluetooth, one for the mouse and the other one for the keyboard. And you will see how important that will be for the next steps. Let's now insert the installed OS in the micro SD card within our Raspberry Pi.
There you go, it's installed. And now we are ready to turn this on. We're going to connect the power, and then you'll see
for the screen.
For the screen.
Yeah, so yeah, the Raspberry Pi is not ready yet.
Screen first.
Yes, so we do have no signal, which is normal.
Sure.
So you can see a little bit of my head and my camera.
And there we go.
Okay, a last push to the SD card.
And there we go. There's the red power indicator and the green activity indicator.
Okay, it's always good to see some green.
It is. I could use some green.
Okay, so let's zoom in into the screen.
All right, so we're booting up the computer now, and it's loading off of the OS that we installed into the micro SD card, and it says that it's booting.
It disappeared.
Says the signal says no signal,
which is normal. That's a part of the activity. This is a real-time installation, so you really see all the things that can happen. We will see if we will have wrong stuff happening or not, but we can still see the green LED, so we're good. So
that was the Raspberry Pi logo.
Yeah,
I'm feeling good about this.
The ground is shaking here.
Oh, well, there might be an earthquake.
Who knows? Okay, let's wait a little bit of time, and we can see the reflection of the camera and my head.
There we go. There's a color. It looks like the screen is active. Looks like we do have some kind of signal. Oh, look at that. Hello. Welcome to Raspberry Pi Desktop. Before you start using it, there are a few things to set up. Well, there always are.
Okay, let's set our country. So this is a shaking country. What country should be?
The most active volcanic and earthquake country is going to be Japan.
Yeah, let's choose Japan. Anyway, we're in Japan. It's good to have Raspberry Pi in Japan with a shaking table.
There we go.
Let's go. It's a long way to Japan using the mouse. You can select.
It feels like we're crossing the Pacific Ocean.
Exactly. Almost there. We see Japan.
There we go.
Good. Let's skip the language as Japanese.
Hey, you know what? You're moving around and clicking these things using the mouse.
Yeah, which is extremely helpful.
I'm very glad that you put that Bluetooth connector into one of those USB ports on the Raspberry Pi device that allows us to use the mouse.
Exactly. There is a different way that we will show it later on about how we are going to use the mouse without the mouse, the installation without the mouse and the keyboard. But for this way, if you'd like to go through this installation, you will need to have the mouse and also the keyboard.
For a more traditional desktop type of experience.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay, so we set the country to Japan and the language to what? Oh, look at this. Enter a username.
Shall we use the wheel?
Sure, it's a classic.
Where it is. Let's put also a very difficult password.
1234.
No, that's too simple.
1234.
No.
1234.
Okay, we go for 1234. That's really
Oh, I forgot my password.
yeah. Okay, good. Then yeah, they say okay, everything in lowercase.
Oh.
It's good for us, I think. Yeah. So let's view in smaller cases. Next. So this is just to say if the screen is showing well or not. Yeah, we can move on. Next. Okay.
Update the software. You should definitely always update the software so you can have the latest version, stable version, good experience. So we will not do that now.
Yeah, else you will have to. This video will be another hour. We can do jokes the whole time. And then we click on restart.
Okay.
Just the fact of clicking it, it's frozen. So let's start the
It
restart.
takes a moment. It's very excited because it's a new OS.
Exactly.
So it's excited when you push the button and it freezes for a moment. Okay, welcome to the Raspberry Pi desktop.
Now signal, which is part of the restart.
This is normal. It's just getting used to the hardware and the software and the combination thereof.
It has its hello wheel moment. It is back. No.
It can't decide. Come on. You can do it. You can do it.
I think it's coming like the green. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. It's a desktop. It's a beautiful desktop photo. It's a wonderful, lovely looking place that says you don't live here.
Exactly. But that's all. Like our Raspberry Pi is ready now.
There we go. And this is desktop OS, and you can see the menus across the top. All right. Excellent.
So to check the Wi-Fi, you may need to turn off first the Wi-Fi once it's scanning, and turn it again. I usually do that, but I don't know if it's really.
I encountered the same thing when I installed this. Like you have to turn it off once and then turn it on, and it still takes a little time to find the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, we don't forget even it's quad core 1.5 gigahertz speed. Yeah, here we do have all our like Wi-Fi connections and options, so we are good. I think that's how we conclude our episode.
Well, the OS is installed and we are ready to go.
Fantastic. Thank you everyone for following us in this episode. We appreciate that. So let's bring the whole family within our super shaking table. That's the 02 and the Raspberry Pi 3. You can do exactly the same thing for the other board. It's exactly the same. And here, we're good. Appreciate any final words for.
No, I'm excited. Let's start using it.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.